You now run your own business, or you run a few businesses in the past, but you also invest into a lot of businesses and into private businesses. Now, when you invest into businesses, where you take it a bit different is you more invest into the people. Why do you think investing into the person who runs a business is more important than investing into the numbers or the vision of the business?
I think what it comes down to is the fact that, and coming from a background in investing now for probably nearly 18 years, investing in other businesses now, is the one thing that I always look for is good people, or great people. The great people are the diamond in the rough, right? They're the thing that it's very, very hard to find, because there's plenty of people out there that talk the talk, but they don't actually walk the walk. They're full of lip service. Yeah, we're going to have a hockey stick curve like this, and in the first 3 months we're going to dominate 50% of the market, and all this. Some of the stuff I've seen in the pitch decks and stuff that have come across my desk over the years. Oh my goodness! But it really is about the people. It's about what are they like? Do they have that underlying level of determination and grit, and do they have some history, to have a background of stuffing something up, and what do they learn from that? If it's their first hurrah and their first go at any sort of business, I'm always a bit wary. I'd rather have someone who's done something and failed, so I actually spend a lot of time talking about what they took away and how it's changed them, and why they think that this time it'll be successful versus last time.
You only really learn about your true character once you get punched in the face a few times.
Absolutely.
Can you get back up?
So people all like, bright-eyed and bushy-tailed, and all talking about the blue sky and using their crystal ball to tell me how good it's going to be and all sort of stuff. And it's just talk. And I've literally had probably 500 deals come across my desk, in that period of time, over 15, 17 years, whatever it's been. And I've invested in, I think, about 14 of them, right? So that's it. The rest of them, it was varying degrees of why not. So a couple of them was a timing thing from being able to get the capital into it in time. It was a couple of them. So, but I'd say 20 to 25 would have been worth investing in out of, over 500 that came across my desk. So you're talking about 0.5% of the deals.
Which is fair enough, because these things, they are quite risky in nature, because a lot of businesses can fall over, especially if you don't have the right person at the forefront. Every business owner, they can have a vision. And if you don't have a vision for your business or know where you want to take it, well, then what are you striving towards?
Absolutely. And there's one business example. I've got equity in a company in Sydney, and I won't go into the details in case I think it probably narrows down what it is if I say what it is. But it was two business partners merging together. I came in and took an equity stake to basically sit on the advisory board. The company grew quite rapidly with the guidance, and with one of the two owners being the real driver, being a real incredible individual. He was the one that I was backing. He was the one that I came in and invested my time and energy in, not the other partner, right? And then a couple of years later, 2 years later, we merged another guy in who was in the same industry to roll them together to create dominance in that market, which it did. Fast forward a couple of years beyond that, and the guy that I backed had to make a decision to move to Hawaii for his family, right? Because his wife's Hawaiian, and they're having a child, and there was some family stuff going on. So he had to make the hard decision to actually exit. Not as an equity holder, but exit managing the business day to day. And we passed that leadership and that management on to one of the other two remaining partners. And I still provided the guidance and the support and everything like that. And in the last 3 months, that's basically turned to what we've found out since then is we were being told, myself and my other business partner in Hawaii, were being told things that weren't true. They were sending us, cut my other partner off from not being able to see their bank account quite a few months ago. Basically, they screwed that business up. It was an incredibly profitable business, doing really, really well. They'd listened to nothing. The two of them colluded in small business thinking, small business mindset stuff. And so we'd have a conversation and we'd talk to them about it. And ultimately that business is I would say it's struggling now, particularly now being hit by the pandemic stuff, the consequences of that. That's actually been hit by that. And so it's going to struggle. It's really going to struggle. I still have my equity holdings in it, but as I went back to those remaining partners, and I said to them, I'm not investing another second of my time in this, because for the last couple of years or 18 months since the other guy went to Hawaii, you just simply haven't done what you needed to do. And so I'm not going to invest any more time in that. I'm going to cut my losses from that business. If they sell it at some point, I'll get my equity back out at some point if it doesn't go broke, and I'll use it as a learning experience. But the interesting thing is, I now actually have equity for the other guy in Hawaii and his new company in Hawaii. So it gives me some tax deductible holidays over Hawaii when we can fly again. But you never know.
So you're still following the person. You still believe in him, and everything he does will turn to gold.
What he's created in the first 12 months of him being in business over there, or than these other guys did in, the last 2.5 years when he wasn't as heavily involved, in the first year. And it's the person, it's the individual, that's the most important thing, and sometimes they might trip and fall. So what may happen is that I don't get the return on that original investment, but I believe so strongly in this individual that fast forward 10 years, he'll probably have a business 10 times the size that the other one ever was going to be, because he's doing it on his own terms. He doesn't have handbrakes like the other business partners slowing him down now. He's out there doing it on his terms, and he's a very different version of himself than he was, 6-7 years ago when I got involved. So just incredible. And obviously building an actual relationship, a personal friendship with the people that I invest in. I actually want to be able to sit down and have a meal or a beer with them, and not necessarily talk shop. For me, it's the relationship is vitally important, to then be able to be honest, to have them hear you when you're talking to them, and hear what you're intending to say, and not having their ego come up and things like that.
So important. I actually went through a similar situation to you, where back in 2012 started creating a tech business that got quite big in 2016, and then we had a fall apart between the shareholders, where one went rogue, like these guys, and started issuing shares to themselves, and things just started to go wrong. After that, it sort of forces you to reevaluate what you want and who you want to do business with.
Absolutely.
Subsequently, I'm still doing business with some of the partners that I was involved there with.
Yep.
And we've gone great guns, and we've gone flying, which is good. But